Hello and welcome to another video on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Today I will be talking about why Thierry Henry and also former Arsenal player Patrick Viera should not be the next manager of Arsenal. Before I get started, I just want to say I'm not an Arsenal fan and that it's a completely neutral standpoint. So I just want to say that I'm not an Arsenal fan, and so, take this however you want. Okay, so there's been several people linked with the next manager of Arsenal job, such as Jose Enrique, Diego Simeone, Carlo Ancelotti, and then there's been like Brendan Rodgers, Sean Dyche, Eddie Howe has also been mentioned, and there's also been Patrick Viera and Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry is currently assistant coach at Belgium. The head coach there is Roberto Martinez, and Patrick Viera is currently manager of New York City in the MLS. So let's get on with why. So it's a bit like it's a very similar situation to when Ferguson left Manchester United. Admittedly, Manchester United won the league that year, and Arsenal have been on a decline for a while. But they appointed David Moyes after, and David Moyes at Everton had won nothing and has still not won anything as a manager. So they went with David Moyes, who had a 42% win ratio at Everton, and despite having a 52% win ratio at Manchester United, things didn't work out. Personally, I thought he should have been given a few more years to really have a look, but the fact is he wasn't ready. He's never won anything. He hasn't managed at a bigger club, and just because he was British and that's who Fergie wanted, that's who they went with. And it's a very similar situation with these two. Thierry Henry has never managed anyone. He's been assistant coach, and he mainly is at Sky, doing such punditry and all that, which is fine. But look how Gary Neville did when he went into management from punditry. He obviously managed at Valencia and did terrible, and he's not the only one. And just because he's been a good player, it doesn't mean he should walk into such a top tier job. Thierry Henry could be a great manager, but I don't think he should be given a job at Arsenal for many reasons. He's a legend at Arsenal. He is one of the best players they've ever had wear the red shirt, and that could go badly very quickly, and it could taint his legacy. Not saying that he should never be Arsenal manager, because if it works out, but he should build his way up, and he's just not the right man for the job. Just because you've played for them, it doesn't mean you wouldn't have, I don't know, Phil Neville be manager of Manchester United just because he played for them, or Ryan Giggs. And Ryan Giggs was interested, but they went with somebody who had a lot of experience. Patrick Viera obviously has management experience. He was manager of Manchester City Reserves, or the under-23s now, and he has been at New York City since 2016. So he's played 74 matches and won 32 and lost 34. 43% win ratio, which is not very good. They are top of their conference in the MLS. They've won 5 and drawn 2, lost none of their 7 games in the MLS so far. But that's not a great record. I mean, it's hard to judge how he would do, and the MLS is a very different league to what we have over here in England. He was a great player once again, but he would considerably taint his legacy if things didn't go well. And with such a big character in Wenger leaving, they need to have somebody who knows how to win and knows how to get the best out of their players. If you look at Mourinho at Manchester United, Mourinho has won titles and has got them back on track. They were going sort of nowhere under Louis van Gaal, and he's done okay. And football isn't the best, and there'll always be criticisms over how he plays football and how he does things, but that's just how he does things, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're picking up trophies. If you're not picking up trophies and you're not playing very well and you're not winning, then it's a problem. But they need to go with somebody who can win trophies straight away and get them back to where they want to be. There's no point, giving someone a lot of time. They need to go with somebody who can get results very, very quickly. And I think Allegri could, and Ancelotti could for a short time. But really didn't want to go with somebody a bit younger who could have a longer stay at Arsenal. I mean, it's going to be a total rebuilding job. There's always been stories about how much Wenger does behind the scenes, which obviously we have no idea of just how much he does. But they need to spend a lot of money to get their squad sorted out. It's going to be a total rebuild job. There are a lot of older players in their side as well, who they'd be looking to move on, and they haven't got many players who are world quality. And that is why I think that they need to go with somebody a lot more experienced who knows what they're doing, other than even like the likes of Eddie Howe and Sean Dyche, but particularly Thierry Henry and Patrick Viera. They're not ready. They're not good enough. They've not managed at a top level. They've not managed pretty much at any level outside of the MLS, and that's just because you've done brilliant things at one particular club, that doesn't mean you should become their manager. That wouldn't happen. You wouldn't, if you worked at Tesco, you wouldn't employ your mate because just because they did really well or whatever. You'd want to have somebody who'd had probably previous experience if they're going into a very high role of managing other big supermarkets or whatever. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts on down below and who you think the next manager of Arsenal will be. I am Mike, and I will see you soon.